What is going on, everyone? So as expected, we have the new GAN 251 2x2s. So there are 3 different versions with this release, a ton of new things that we're seeing implemented into the 2x2s. So let's just go ahead and crack these open and just see what they're all about. So the 3 different versions with this 251 release are the Air, Pro, and the Leap. And I initially thought that they had accidentally sent me 2 Pros, but it looks like from the back stickers here, it says Leap on this version. So the only difference is that little sticker, otherwise it just comes in the same type of Pro box. But yeah, so the only differences between these 3 versions are different types and systems of magnet settings. The Air is the cheapest of the 3, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with this one. Alright, so of course, same type of just tutorials, and it looks like we get this little tensioning tool. That's kind of tiny. Alright, and here is the cube. Yeah, it has that classic frosted plastic, but I'm sure it'll just break in a bit and just get a little bit more grippy as I get used to it, but let's just go ahead and do some first turns. This is really, really light and super duper fast. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay, so the Air is the lightest and the cheapest version because it has the fewest magnets in here. But before we get into that, the turning itself is really, really smooth. It low-key reminds me of one of those cubing classroom 2x2s. Not that it feels cheap, it definitely feels like that high-quality GAN plastic, of course, but it's just... it has this distinct, like, floppy feeling to it. It's really floppy and smooth. It's kind of interesting. And despite how sort of reckless my turning is and just how rough I'm trying to get at it, it's really not locking up for me. I'm just doing a bunch of like random turns, but it's still not catching, not locking up. It's doing really, really well. And of course, corner cutting past 45 and reverse is really great, not catching at all, around half a piece. So this cube does use GAN's classic GES system, which you tension using this little tool that it came with, but I don't believe it came with any other like spare or separate GES nuts for other tensions. So I think all you get are the stock blue ones that come already in the cube, which only have 2 settings of 0.6 and 0.8. The lower the number, the tighter the cube is going to feel, but for me at least, the stock tensions already work really, really well, so I really don't think you're going to be missing out on too much if you get the Air version, just because the settings seem to be doing really well already and the cube performs, seemingly great out of the box. So the reason why the Air version is way cheaper than the Leap and the Pro is because you're only limited to the magnets that are in the internal 3x3 mechanism pieces, so you're not going to see any magnets on the corner stocks at all, but honestly it really doesn't make a huge difference for me. Yeah, again, I'm honestly not having too many issues in terms of locking or catching or just, not being able to control the puzzle. It seems to be doing really, really well anyways, and I think especially with 2x2, a cube that I think you're gonna want to be able to spam TPS on. If anything, that might be a huge bonus for like fast solvers, but if you want more stability and a little bit more controllability, the Leap and the Pro version might be better for you. So let's just go ahead and see how those are, starting off with the Pro, which is the mid-tier 251M. Alright, and I see this version has all the fancy stuff that you can get with the classic GAN cubes. So it comes with these spare GES nuts that gives you more tension settings, which is awesome. In this box, you get a little screwdriver and GAN bag. Alright, so here's the cube, of course, in that really, really cool box. Yeah, I can definitely feel the difference the magnets make. It just kind of sets the cube in place a bit more. It's not as sort of loose and flexible feeling compared to this air. The air just sounds a lot more muted compared to like the crispiness that you're going to hear from the magnets in this Pro version. But you can still sort of feel that floppy type feeling, and I guess that's just inherent to the cube itself, and the magnets really just give more controllability and stability to the cube. So this 251 Pro is almost like the 2x2 version of the 11M Pro 3x3. It has the same corner-to-core magnet system, which just gives an added layer of stability and a slightly smoother magnetic attraction, and it also has the adjustable magnets in the corners. So the stock magnet setting it comes on is 0, which is the medium strength. If you toggle it to the left to the minus sign, it's the weakest magnetic setting, and then pushing it all the way to the right at the plus sign is the strongest magnetic setting. But alright, so let's go ahead and get into the Leap. Now, this one is similar to the Pro. The only difference is that the quarter-corner magnets are bigger. And so I think from what I've seen, it can almost just sort of connect back and readjust and align itself. So I think that'd be interesting to see in a comp setting. So it comes with the classic things in this accessories box, also the velvet bag and the little screwdriver in there. All right, so this one comes also with the spare GES nuts, which is great if you want different tension settings, and the cube itself. All right. Oh yeah, I can definitely feel that this one is way heavier, and it just feels a lot more weighted because of those stronger magnets in here. Alright, I can definitely see what GAN was trying to go for. So if you look at the magnets in the core, you can see that the discs are a lot bigger compared to the Pro. And so what that means is that once you get the cube turned to a certain point, it can just automatically realign just out of the sheer magnetic attraction. Even though it does feel a lot more hefty and, you know, a little bit clunky compared to the Pro version, it still turns really well, and I really am still enjoying that sort of smooth turning that comes with the 251. And this one also does come with the adjustable magnets, which is great. And I think overall it's gonna feel a lot stronger just compared to the other two versions, purely because of the stronger and bigger magnets in the core itself. So overall, depending on the magnet settings that you prefer, that's basically how you're going to choose between these three different versions. For me at least, I think I could do without the Leap version, just because I don't really think that automatic alignment type system is really necessary. I mean, it feels great if you're someone that needs a little bit more stability and more controllability. The Leap is a great version for you. Based off first impressions though, I think my favorite out of the three would have to be the Pro, just because it does feel slightly more stable than the Air version, but more so I just like that there are more setting options and customization options with the GES nuts and also the adjustable magnets. But all in all, the Air version is also really nice if you just want to try out the feeling of the cube. It's really buttery smooth and it's fast but not out of control, and I think it's a really, really great sort of competition 2x2 if you want to ever get serious with the event. So I've never really liked any of GAN's past 2x2 releases, but this one I am very pleasantly surprised by. I actually really enjoyed the turning, and I like the different magnet settings that they have with these, but otherwise, you know, the price, there's really no need to spend more than like $10, $15 to get a good competition performance level cube. So unless you're like a huge GAN fanatic and you want to try out the latest GAN cube, or you're really serious about 2x2 and you want to give this cube a shot, then go for it. Otherwise, I don't see any problem using any other of the past 2x2s that are currently on the market, some of which are my current mains also. So I don't know, I'll have to see if I make any of these my mains. They perform great out of the box, but of course I'll have to see how I do with them in a solving situation. So that is going to wrap it up for this unboxing. If you guys have any questions at all, definitely leave them in the comments below. But I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I'll see you guys in the next video.